So I saw on my timeline that it's possible that UMG is going to be reaching a settlement soon with Drake for $250 million. He was looking for renegotiation around, I know it's over. His last deal was $450 to $500 million. I know he was looking for more than that at the time of renegotiation. But all the things that UMG's been saying about Drake has not been indicative that they're going to reach a settlement anytime soon. So I was surprised to see that on my timeline and on my YouTube feed that this is a possibility. So I'm going to read more into it. But what I do know is Drake is trying to look into Kendrick Lamar's contracts. And it's something that, Drake would do. He alluded to something like this on Push Ups. Show me your splits. And then obviously Kendrick Lamar responded with, I show my splits if you show yours. You're signed to this, signed to that, signed to that. So it's just going to be just a web. It's just going to, he's looking to shift blame, in my opinion, for something that he willingly engaged in, as UMG said. But it's a nasty, nasty legal battle right now. So I'm going to read this Complex article. I don't really care for Complex, but I'm going to give them a shot. Inside the Drake versus UMG hearing, what judge's ruling means for Not Like Us lawsuit, lawyers for Drake and Universal met in a Manhattan federal courtroom on Wednesday afternoon by Sean Setterado. All right. Drake got a victory in his legal battle over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Universal Music Group, who he is suing for defamation over their release of this song, will now have to begin to turn over information related to the massive hit, including sensitive material like Kendrick's record deal. Lawyers for Drake and Universal, Drizzy himself was not in attendance, of course he isn't, met in a Manhattan federal courtroom on Wednesday afternoon in front of Judge Jeanette A. Vargas, because you got better things to do, like sub Kendrick Lamar on the Nokia music video. I understand. You got better things to do. Documents and communications related to Kendrick's, which was a fire video, by the way, related to Kendrick's marketing plan. The issue was discovery. Discovery is the information Drake's side needs from Universal in order to attempt to prove its case at trial. UMG requested a delay in providing this information until Judge Vargas decided whether to dismiss Drake's lawsuit altogether, a ruling that isn't expected for several months. In court, Universal's lead attorney, Roland A. Ransom, argued that the court needed to take the unusual step of delaying discovery for a number of reasons. Most notably, he claimed that the intel Drake was asking for, which includes information about Kendrick's contract with UMG, UMG's promotional activities around the Grammys and the Super Bowl, compensation for UMG's top executives, all documents and communications related to any of Kendrick's marketing plans and more, was very sensitive. He wants all of this. Providing the information now, even though the case may be thrown out in the near future, was intrusive. High likelihood it gets thrown out. Drake's lead lawyer, Michael J. Gottlieb, correct me, please, made the point that there is already a legal test to determine whether discovery can be delayed. As part of the test, the case has to be explained without merit and shouldn't involve a fact-intensive analysis. But he continued, Universal had already admitted that they needed to make a fact-intensive analysis as part of their own motion to dismiss. The time frame for discovery, in my opinion, the most important information in all this is what's the timeline for all this, because this looks like it's going to go on forever. They need to cap this. UMG got long money, so it's not like they could go on forever, and Drake got long money too, and I think he's just going to carry it out to make a point. But how long are you willing, and how much are you willing to spend to make your point? And when is it the time to cut your losses on this? Because I think this is going to end up getting dismissed. On March 17th, UMG filed a 32-page memo along with 177 pages of supplementary news articles, petitions, and song lyrics, arguing that Kendrick's song exists in the context of a rap battle, where hyperbolic insults are the norm. Correct. Drake, by contrast, is claiming that the song and its cover art were intended to convey the specific, unmistakable, false, factual allegation that Drake is a criminal PDF file. UMG's filing itself, Gottlieb argued, is nothing if not a fact-intensive analysis. So he's trying to say, where's the facts? Where is the facts? Or we have a case for defamation. Gottlieb's argument ultimately won the day. Judge Vargas explained that it is a major and unusual step step to stay discovery. In order to do so, she continued, there need to be no factual issues in need of further exploration. This was a burden that UMG failed to meet. There are indeed, she said, fact-intensive arguments being made. She denied UMG's motion to stay discovery. Judge Vargas gave the sides 1 week to figure out a time frame for discovery, or if they can't agree, to write to her and tell her what their differences are. Regardless, it will take months for Drizzy to get all the information he is asking for, and there are likely to be negotiations along the way, as UMG is expected to try to limit the scope of the star's request, because it's a deeper criminal link that I think he's going for. Just blow this hope down. You guys ruin my negotiations. You try to ruin my rep. And now I'm just going to burn this hope down, because they could be tampering and tangling with and having their hands in a lot of things that are not ethical in the music industry. So he's like, let's just burn this whole shit down. Y'all did me wrong. Let me burn this whole shit down. So it may not be a win, and likely not going to be a win for him trying to prove whatever he thinks happened in the Not Like Us, because they both engage in the back and forth. And these are two artists that are signed to Universal Music Group. And it's like, you guys both have a rap battle that is not foreign. It happens in rap. It's happened a part of the culture. This is not unusual things that happen. You lost by public account. Overwhelmingly, the public decided that you lost the battle. So therefore, your ego got in the way, or maybe you felt like this slowed some things down, this and this, when really your strategy just backfired. As Drake's strategy backfired, and Kendrick really had the upper hand. You underestimated Kendrick's public output of music as something that he was lyrically out of shape. You didn't know who your opponent was. You didn't watch enough game tape on him, so to speak. So to continue, all of this back and forth over discovery and scheduling was necessary because Drake and UMG are extremely unlikely to settle their differences anytime soon. In a joint letter to Judge Vargas late last month, both sides agreed that settlement discussions would not be productive at this time. This is in marked contrast to the Superstars' related issues with iHeartMedia, which were resolved amicably in late February. Basically, there is no, from what I remember, the settlement was there was no wrongdoings at that. I don't remember them saying, yes, we will stop playing, or yes, we are. No, there was no foul play. Ransom refused to comment to Complex after Wednesday's hearing. Gottlieb released a statement saying, now it's time to see what UMG was so desperately trying to hide. That was the quote that I wanted to see. I don't see anything about $250 million of them settling at this time. Let me see. Drake gets a big win in the lawsuit. Maybe Vice says it, and maybe just another article. Okay. This is not going to be solved anytime soon. And likely what's going to happen is Drake is going to go independent after this. This is pretty much the end of Drake on our major record labels, which is interesting, and see how it shifts the industry. I think we've all been waiting, not all of us, but a lot of us has been waiting to see what type of superstar Drake is going to be without the major label and the major machine. And how he basically says, I'm big enough and I can go straight to the public. I can go straight to my audience and still be successful and still be the dominant artist that I am today, if not more. And I don't have to split and do all these different things. Like, I don't even need a marketing budget. I just put it out when I want to. I don't even tell the DSPs when I'm dropping. I don't tell my label when I'm dropping. I just drop and I still do what I'm doing. But I think he's still going to be successful. Drake is still going to be successful. But on the level that he was, no. I think those days are far behind him. And if he does not go the major label route, to be an independent artist, his push and his visibility is going to take a hit. But he won't go away completely because he's Drake. But you let me know in the comment box what you think down below. I understand why you're requesting Kendrick Lamar's contracts for everything that was stated, and seeing if UMG had a financial incentive to get him the visibility to the Super Bowl, get him the visibility to the Grammys and all these different things, and people essentially celebrating the win of Not Like Us, which looks like at Drake's expense, which it is. It is at Drake's expense. However, the success of the record, a lot of people would say, we are not bots. We were there. You saw the Pop Out concert. You saw all these different things. Like there was a large proponent of organic, of just natural organic push from a whole coast, from the West Coast, from everybody that supported Kendrick prior to, Kendrick is a global act. He's not just some no name. He wasn't like, he had a top 10 selling concert before all of this. Like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, like it was a production. Amazon Prime had their hand in it. It was a high selling, and he sold, even though he took a gap, he's always been 1 through 3, like top selling hip hop acts, male acts, if I don't have the numbers in front of me. But he was no chump. He's not selling like Drake, but let's not act like he was some bum that needed Drake to be this successful. It was never that. It was never that. Did Drake's name and profile help this? But he also engaged willingly to try to crush his on par opponent, to make a point and say there's nobody on my level, and it backfired. And now the conversation of who is one and who's the number one top dog in hip hop, it's never been more spread out. There's an argument for everything. It's just not it's not unanimous that Drake is the king of hip hop anymore. It just isn't. In my opinion, obviously, it's not fact. And you're welcome to disagree. I welcome this. Let me know in the comment box what you think down below. See you, Latinos, always. Y'all be safe. Shwee!